Today we're back with another fragrance review. This time we're going to be taking a look at a fragrance from Gucci. This one is Gucci Pour Homme 2. So this stuff right here, this is an awesome fragrance, guys. I really enjoy this one a lot. I've been putting it off for a very long time. This is definitely nothing new. This came out over 10 years ago, so I'm very late to the party when it comes to reviewing this by now, but I still want to review it anyway, just because it smells fantastic. I've been hearing talk about it ever since I first got into collecting fragrances, and I just never really got around to ever sampling it or buying a bottle. And I finally got around to purchasing a bottle, got a 100ml bottle off of eBay. I had some eBay bucks to spend, so I ended up getting this brand new 100ml bottle, full presentation for like 40 bucks. So at that price, it's a steal. Even at, you know, the regular price of around $50, $55, that's a steal as well. But nonetheless, I'm gonna go ahead and review this fragrance today. I'm gonna tell you how it smells, how it performs, when you can wear it, and things like that. So if that sounds interesting to you, let's go and jump into this. One of the first things I noticed when I smelled this for the very first time is the color of the fragrance itself is very fitting to how it smells, at least in my opinion. This definitely smells like the color blue. That may sound weird, and it definitely does sound weird now that I said it out loud. But like I said, when I smell this, it just reminds me of the color blue. It just smells like a blue looking fragrance. And no, I'm not talking about this type of blue fragrance, or this one, or this one. So yeah, like I said, it's not that type of blue fragrance. I'm talking about like a clean, fresh out of the shower gel fragrance. I'm not saying it smells like that, but in terms of what I think the color blue smells like, this pretty much hits the nail on the head. Right in the opening, I get a nice note of tea, and that smells fantastic. That's one of my favorite notes in fragrances. It just smells really good. And Silver Mountain Water, it's one of my favorites from Creed. The tea note in that is fantastic. It just smells really good. Even in the new replica fragrance Under the Lemon Trees, which I reviewed not too long ago, that has a tea note in it, and I really enjoyed as well. It's just a very awesome note. I personally think it's underutilized, but I still really like it, and it smells great. There's also cinnamon, which gives it a nice spicy and slightly sweet kick. Those two notes mixing together really just smells good. You have that nice cooling freshness from the tea, and you have this nice spicy kick from the cinnamon. And it's kind of weird because when you compare the two notes, you have the tea note, which is very cooling, very calming, very fresh. Then you have cinnamon, which is spicy and, you know, kind of sweet, and definitely isn't very soothing by any means. So it's kind of interesting when you have those notes mixing together, but it works really good in this scent. There's also some violet leaf as well, which gives it this nice cooling and slightly watery type of feel as well. Again, that isn't something that you would really think would mix well with this, but it just works fantastic. And I literally just about dropped my bottle. This bottle is very heavy, so working into the dry down, I start to pick up on a little bit of red pepper. That is going along with the cinnamon to add to that nice spicy kick I was talking about. There's also some tobacco. I don't pick up on it too much though. A lot of the other notes are a lot more prominent than that one. Overall, this stuff smells fantastic. I don't know why I held off so long when it came to actually getting a bottle, but this stuff does smell really good. I'm really happy to have it now. So one thing I do want to note really quickly here when it comes to the actual bottle is I had an issue with the collar coming off and getting stuck inside of the cap. And I actually talked to someone else who had the same issue. It just kind of came like that. I'm not really sure why. So if yours does that, what I did to fix it was I took a small flathead screwdriver, pried it in between the collar and the black part of the cap inside of there. Then I took a small pair of pliers and basically pulled it out, and you can see on the back, I don't know if you can focus on that, but there's a little mark where the screwdriver, I pried it open. And then all you do is you just take the collar out and you pop it back on, and it's been staying on there by itself without having to glue it or anything. So that's just something I want to throw out there in case any of you get a bottle and the collar comes off. There is a way to fix it. It's not a huge deal, otherwise it just looks kind of ugly when you pull the cap off and the collar isn't covering the crimped atomizer. So that's just one way you can fix it. And again, talking about the bottle really quickly, the bottle itself right here is very heavy. It's a very thick glass. The cap, however, feels cheap in comparison to the bottle. The cap is on the lighter side. It just doesn't feel as high quality as the bottle. Again, that's just nitpicking. For $50 here, that's not a huge deal, but I mean, when you hold it, the bottle is definitely the heaviest part, and is very high quality. So before we talk about when you can wear this, I just want to jump in here really quickly and tell you, if you haven't checked out my decanting course, definitely go over there and check it out. If you head on over to chaosfragrances.com, you can look into it there, and also click the first link in the description. You can also enter your email on the pop-up box that comes up, and that will allow you to get an extra discount off of the course. So it's already discounted quite a bit, but if you wait for that pop-up box to come up, you enter your email, you click the button, and I'll send you an extra 20% off, so that way you can get it at an even cheaper price. So definitely do that if you're interested. Again, I cover everything you need to know in this course, so if you're kind of on the fence and you want to get started and you want to build up an awesome collection in a short amount of time like I did, but you don't really know, again, how to start, definitely check out that course. It's going to tell you everything you need to know. So when can you wear Gucci Pour Homme 2? This is a pretty versatile scent. This is kind of one of those scents where it's a little bit fresh, it's a little bit sweet. In my opinion, you can pretty much wear this thing year round. This could easily be a great signature scent. And what I like so much about this, and I've said this before about other fragrances, but this is kind of one of those scents where it's really only going to be a scent that are worn by fragrance enthusiasts, by the actual collectors, by actual frag heads. This isn't like a Dior Sauvage or something along those lines where a lot of people are going to be wearing it. This one is really only going to be getting attention and love from the people who are into fragrances. And what is so nice about that is making something like this your signature scent is going to work out great for you, because not a lot of people are going to be smelling it, and it's going to make you stand out even more. You can wear this casually, you can wear it a little bit dressed up as well. All around, it's just a very easy to wear scent. It can be worn in a lot of different situations, and it's just a really good one to have. For me personally, this one would be a good fragrance I would wear when I just want to relax. Like I said, there's something about that tea note that always calms me down. Like I said with Silver Mountain Water, that one always relaxes me. And this one does the same thing. It's just very calming, very cool. Even though there is a little bit of a spicy and sweet touch, the tea note is still the main player, and it's something that I really enjoy. So how does this one perform? And that's where it is a little bit of a letdown. On my skin, I get about 6 hours of longevity, which isn't necessarily awful, but it's also not the best. Projection, it does sit a little bit closer to the skin as well. It's not fully a skin scent, projects out a little bit, but definitely not that much. I do wish it projected a little bit better, and I do wish it lasted a little bit longer, especially because of how much I like the scent. I would like it to stick around longer, and I would like it to push out more, so not only I can catch whiffs of it more, but also so other people can. But that's kind of one of those things where there's really nothing you can do about it. You can carry a sample around and, you know, refresh yourself throughout the day if you wanted to. So performance overall, it's not awful, but it's also not the best either. So talking about compliments, will this one be a compliment getter? It definitely will. Again, it smells really good, and it's, like I said earlier, not a lot of people are going to be wearing this one, so it's going to make you stand out a little bit more. People are probably going to be more inclined to compliment you on it, and they're going to be different compliments. They're probably going to be more along the lines of, oh, what are you wearing? I've never really smelled that before. And that's something that's always nice. It's kind of going to compel people to compliment you on it, because it is different and it's kind of out of the norm in terms of, you know, the typical other designer fragrances that are being worn by, you know, people all the time. And I also want to say I received a fragrance from Parfums Vintage. It's called Imbu. As you can see there on the bottom. This is one of their newer releases as well, and this one is actually their take on the first formulation of Gucci Pour Homme 2. So I'm going to be doing a whole separate review comparing these two together. That's actually why I picked this one up in the first place, because I got a hold of this, so I wanted to have this to compare it. So I'm going to do a whole separate review on this one later on. So touching quickly on price, as far as I know, this is actually discontinued, and it has been for a while. With that being said though, it's still really easy to get. You can get a 100 ml full presentation bottle brand new for around $50–$55 on eBay, on FragranceNet and things like that. So very affordable, and for how good this smells and for how high quality it is, and even how nice the bottle is aside from the cap, which I'm not a huge fan of, but it doesn't really matter. That's a fantastic price. $50–$55 for 100 mils of a really solid high quality fragrance. That's a steal. You can also get a 100 ml tester bottle for like $40–$45, I believe. Personally, I would just say spend the extra $5 or $10, get the full presentation with the cap, because like I said, this is discontinued. So at some point the prices are going to start ramping up like it did with Gucci Pour Homme 1. So, you know, if you are going to be buying it, it's probably best to just go ahead and splurge for the full presentation. That way, if you want to, you know, flip it later on when the prices are crazy, you can do that. I'm not saying I condone flipping or anything like that. I'm just giving you your options. but because it is obtainable right now is probably the time to stock up on it if you're a fan of the scent, because like I said, at some point prices are going to start jacking up. So guys, that pretty much wraps up my review on Gucci Pour Homme 2. Again, this stuff is fantastic. If you haven't tried this yet, highly recommend you do so. In terms of whether or not this is blind buy safe, in my opinion, I would say it's blind buy safe. I feel like it's hard to dislike. If you like tea and you like some spicier notes as well, you're gonna like this scent a lot. This is unique in terms of designers, so that's always, you know, a breath of fresh air when it comes to a lot of the other generic stuff that's being released. This definitely is different, and like I said, it also is very high quality, just smells great overall. So I would say if you're on the fence at, you know, $50-$55 for 100 ml, just go ahead and grab it. This stuff is really solid juice. So guys, again, that does it for my review. If you have tried this one, let me know what you think of it down below. Be curious to know what you guys have to think about it. And I think that's going to do it for this review. So if you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss when I post. And that's going to do it for me, guys. I'll see you in the next review. Peace out.